Greetings, everyone. I'm JP.WATKINS. Thank you for joining me again with personal governance. I know sometimes the stuff that I'm saying is pretty straightforward, it's pretty common sense. And I know sometimes it's going to bump up against your ideals. It's going to challenge you to challenge yourself. And today's is one of those tough topics. It's about accountability. Often we simply are not being accountable. How many times do you know that person that they're always late? I mean, always late. And then when they come to be, oh man, I got stuck in traffic. Think about that. You got stuck in traffic. 9 times out of 10, if you're in a city, if you're in New York, LA, Chicago, you know it's heavy traffic. You know it take you an hour, 15 minutes to get there, yet you leave an hour. Give yourself an hour to get there. And you wonder how you get there. Hour, 30 minutes late. Or 30 minutes late versus getting on time. Oh, it only take me 7 minutes, so I'm going to leave in 5 minutes. So you expect to get there maybe 2-3 minutes late, to be fashionably late. But then it was a car accident, or they was doing some construction that you didn't count on, and now you're constantly late. So then when you having a performance conversation with your supervisor, oh man, well I got stuck in that traffic. They was doing this. It was a bad car accident. It was bad weather. And then, you go out and you complaining and whining to your coworkers because the supervisor tripping because he wrote you up. But you weren't just late one time. You're always late. How accountable are you being? Look at myself. I'm actively working on getting my weight down healthily. I jog several times a week, go to the gym. But my biggest struggle is just overeating, just a food addict. So I do this thing called intermittent fasting. Not getting into a big debate with people in the comments of it's healthy, it's not. I'm doing what I feel is best for me. And we will let time and all those other tables turn. And I'm constantly a student rather than being a follower. If I read during my research, I read a scientific journal, or I read, some credible sources that I feel are credible. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try something different. But I'm gonna constantly be evolving with the information that I get and the actions that I'm taking to improve my life. So that's the thing I want you to really think about. Are you in the driver's seat of your life? Are you really being accountable? Are you being accountable for your health? Are you being accountable for having to be on 10 medications? It's people that I see all the time. They're actually bragging. I used to work at a mental health center, and some of these people had mental health, so it's a little different. But some of them literally, we had these packets, and some of them would literally have 30 pills to take, not a day, but nearly at a time. I mean, some people, they were so heavily medicated. And some of them had to be medicated like that because we had this program where they were integrating them into the community. So basically, they were being chemically sedated just so they wouldn't be a harm to themselves and others. But that's another topic. But there were some people that, hey, they just bragging about taking, man, I take 4 different medicines for my high blood pressure. And it's like, yeah, there are medical conditions where it may require you to take some medicine. But unless that's the absolute underlying thing, have you done your research? Have you done everything you can? Are you staying away from all that table salt? Are you staying away from all that processed foods? Are you doing everything in your power to lead a healthier life? Are you being accountable about what you're putting in your mouth? Being accountable about your inactivity? Being accountable about being mediocre at your position. People calling you about stuff that you should be able to know off the top of your head, and you have to put them on hold for 10 minutes to go look it up because you don't spend no time investing in being very competent, highly competent in your area of specialty. Sometimes we just gotta look at we gotta look in the mirror. And the mirror often has both the problem and the solution. So when you look in the mirror, what are you looking at? Are you looking at a solution-oriented person? Or are you looking at a whiner, a complainer, a chronic complainer? You're looking at somebody that's always talking about what the boss is doing. Always talking about what the president is doing. What the Republicans, what the Democrats, what the other entities are doing. Are you a volunteer victim? Do you practice the religion of defeatism? If you do any of those things, I'm just going to ask. Because I'm just going to ask, would it look differently if you held yourself accountable? Would it look differently if you put yourself in a driver's seat? If you say, you know what? I'm going to be more competent. I'm going to be more healthy. I'm going to be more skilled. I'm going to improve my value, my problem-solving abilities. And anybody that's followed my channel, they know I'm a big advocate of improving your communication skills. The ability to communicate, collaborate, and coordinate is some of the greatest skills that you can have as a person. Because like I said, no matter what business you're in, you need somebody to communicate, whether it's in nanotechnology, high technology, whether that's in customer service, whether that's in healthcare, whether that's in law. If you can communicate effectively, you have a great gift. Are you using it to its fullest potential? The ability to collaborate, the ability to negotiate, to listen to this side of the story and that side of the story, to say, hey, this is what I hear here, this is what I hear there, and be creative and say, okay, well, this is a solution. Can we try this? Are you willing to at least try this and see what the result's going to be? Are you willing to try that and see what the result's going to be? Let the results speak to us rather than our opinions. Because a lot of times we act like our opinions, even though they're sincere opinions, we act like they are the results. We act like they are the facts. Well, this is the way I feel, so it must be a fact. This is the way I feel, so it must going to be the result because I feel so strong about it. But feelings are just that. And often we think with our feelings. But we got a mind for a reason. We have emotion for another reason. And we got a mouth to communicate. And the more effectively we can communicate. So think about that. Think about your life and what you can do to change it. What one area can you start working on today? Write it down. I can start eating better today. I can start reading more today. I can curb watching some of the TV today. And I am going to be accountable for how much TV I watch, how much TV I watch, how many books I read this week, how many calories I eat today. I'm going to be accountable. I'm going to start steering my life. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm going to take control of my life. If I'm insecure, I just don't have a lot of confidence. Be accountable. What is it going to take to build your confidence? Why aren't you confident? Is it because maybe you stutter? Okay. So what? Some people going to laugh. I have a lisp. And if you watch any of my videos, sometimes I trip over certain words and I intentionally not edit those out. Because I want you to see that I'm not this robot. I'm not perfect. I trip over my words. I mispronounce words. I make mistakes. Okay, cool. It's going to be trolls out there to feel like, oh, you see how you do it? That's fine. But that's a way of establishing my confidence and my competence. Because competence doesn't mean that you're perfect. Confident don't mean that you don't make no mistakes. So if you want to build your confidence, start looking at the confidence courses. Start reading self-help. There's other people that have been in a similar situation. Think about Les Brown. Arguably, definitely one of the best motivational speakers in the game. He was once told that he was mentally deficient and wouldn't amount to much. And now he's training people starting at $25,000 a session, doing personal coaching, consulting, speaking to people that's got doctorates, master's degrees, and he holds no formal education. So even somebody like him inspired me that, hey, you know what? Yeah, you're a junior high school dropout, but you do have a formal education. You have a bachelor's and master's degree. And guess what? If Les Brown can do it, so can you. You can do it. You don't have to worry about these jobs and corporations not hiring you. You can hire you. You got all this different technology out here. You got YouTube, you got Vimeo. You got different platforms that you can get out here and tell people about your active philosophy of personal governance. And people will support you. Why? Because your main goal is to help people help themselves. That's my main goal. If I had to sum it up, my goal is to help people help themselves. But I want to help them by empowering them, help them pursue their purpose and their passion, and help them to advocate for those who can't advocate. That's where that passion comes from. Because if we can able-bodied people, sound mind, able-bodied, we got to do everything we can in our power to pursue our purpose. If that's to be financial freedom, the best way we can advocate for the poor is not be one of them. The best way we can advocate for the weak is not be one of them. So now that we have a platform, we can use that platform to help the others, to help the disabled population, to help the elderly population, to help the homeless. Once you get yourself to where you're empowered and you're leading a life, a meaningful life, full of purpose and passion, imagine the doors that you can open. Imagine the influence that you'll have. And your story will matter to somebody, but first it got to matter to you. So today, persist, believe, so that you can achieve. Thank you for joining me on my journey.